Are we live? We're live.
Yes,
now.
I'm in the bathroom too. That's so good.
Hey, we're oh my god. Okay, all right, real quick. We're live. We're live. We're live. We're live. Mute. So
y'all thirsty?
Hold up. Where the Hennessy?
Are you bartender?
Nah, I'm at a bar though.
Oh, are you standing behind the bar? Or what?
Muted now?
Nah, I'm in the back. I'm finna go on this thing real quick, but I ain't want to miss the next live.
I'm trying to take over the conversation so I can introduce everybody.
Ahead.
Can I have the floor?
Yes.
I think we should have had the section over by where he's at.
Mm-hmm. Can y'all see me?
Yes.
Oddly enough, I can't. Okay, there we go. So, hi y'all. This is Lala from Lala's World. Lala's World.
We're in Lala's world.
Took us a second, but we got it together. I have 5 co-panelists. 4 co-panelists. One is about to go away briefly. QP, I think that's you on deck. Tell us what you got going on, sir.
Start. You got to start now. Introduce you. Come on. Or you can just write the
Give me like 2 minutes, huh? Okay. Hey.
Did you mute yourself now?
QP, the one, the absentee.
QP. Okay, talk to me.
Yeah, QP. So I don't even know what we're talking about tonight because I missed it. But I am an original, an aboriginal of the group. You know what I'm saying? I've been here.
We got to talk about that when you come back. We got to talk about aboriginal when you come back.
Oh, snap. No, I've been wanting to talk about that actually.
That's okay, I got you.
Yeah, y'all just keep me up to date. Keep rocking with us. Y'all gonna have fun. Y'all gonna enjoy all of these beautiful faces.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So that's QP, y'all. I also have Nicole.
Did my man come up with the picture though?
I know. I have Nicole Boo check 1, check 2.
Okay. All right. I love
hello
y'all.
to the people, Nicole Boo.
Hello. It's your girl Nicole Lawson, aka Nicole Boo, mompreneur and stuff.
Yes. And now we also have Miss Medusa.
Hello.
Say hello to the people, Miss Medusa.
Hello, guys. I'm doing.
Are you there? Can you? Oh, let me turn you up a little bit then.
Can you hear me?
I can now. There we go.
Okay. I am multitasking and trying to clean this place because my kids come home tomorrow. And I'm a busy mama, so today's my day.
Mama. Uh-oh. Let me turn this down so I can see what's going on in the live chat. Derek!
Yeah, I'm trying to
DC!
Man, I gotta turn you all down.
Thanks for stopping in and saying hello. That's what's up. So yeah, you're multitasking.
Oh, DC is in the building.
Can we see the chat?
He's in the chat. Well, you can. What I'm doing is I'm looking at it from my phone. Yeah, he's on YouTube. He's not in the actual chat. Yeah.
I'm on my phone.
My page from YouTube. I did it last time. I'll figure it out.
Right on. So you're multitasking. What's going on, Medusa, in your life right now?
So Friday I did my first solo set at the House of Blues.
Yeah,
that was fun. And then
you did Tudo that night. You did Tudo.
Yeah, I stopped by the Freeman, and then they asked me to do another song. And then Tuesday, I did my first show that I put together and hosted. So that was cool. Yeah, and I have 3 weeks of school left, people. 3 weeks.
Hey.
And the counting begins.
The countdown, yes.
Okay, I'm going to come back to you, Miss Medusa. We also have a special guest, new panelist. His name is, let me get to him, Walter Sparks. Walter, there?
I'm not a panelist.
You are right now.
Thanks, you in here.
You are for the purpose of
hey, I'm a groupie.
You're a groupie.
I'm Lala's groupie.
Oh, I have a groupie.
Well deserved.
You can tell everybody. I got a groupie. Hey. Well, cool. All right, I'm unmuting. I think everybody should be unmuted now.
Lala, I gotta go.
So QP, you said you have to go really quickly, right?
Yeah, I'm finna go on right now.
Okay, tell us why you gotta leave us before you go.
I got an interview. It's this new TV show that's starting in Dallas, or it's a live interview, like with a live audience and stuff, and then you perform. Mm-hmm. I'm at the Don't Tell Supper Club. So this is the first. So
when you get over there.
Yeah, it's nice as hell. Man. I just well, they rebuilt it. This used to be the hood club. They rebuilt the shit out this one. Like for real, this was the hood. This was Pier. This was called Pier. This how, but it's nice. It's all wood with you see the wine bottles. Too heavy to steal.
Yeah.
All that.
Nice.
Okay,
Nice.
well, I
We'll have
gotta
a
go.
great interview and a great show.
I'll be back next time, though. Next Thursday. Let me know what y'all talking about.
Or come back if
Oh
we
yeah,
still
okay,
here
great.
and we have time later.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay. All
I
right.
don't know why I just froze. All right, see you later, QP. Everybody say bye, QP.
Bye.
See you later, bud.
All right, so tonight is kind of a freestyle. We're not doing it out tonight for a couple of reasons. Number one, because we don't have everybody here. That's the main reason. So the plan was for us to meet 30 minutes prior to the live broadcast for me to do the live reading with everybody on the chat on the video, and then we're going to go live, right? And then we're going to go live and then have the discussion.
What's the reading?
The book is called ALPH, ALPH, and
you're doing a book club thing?
Kind of. It was something I bought the book and I was intrigued by the premise of it. And so I brought it up to the group to see if they were interested in having a discussion about it. At least a brief discussion and turn into an ongoing thing, basically, because everybody else got almost as enthralled, if not equally, as I did in the book as well. So we got up to chapter 3. We finished chapter 3, right? Together. And then I was supposed to start chapter 4 tonight, but I decided to hold off for another week, partially in large part because everybody's not here. So. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to leave anybody out.
That's cool.
So yeah, so we're doing another freestyle situationship. I want to say again, hello to everybody that's in the chat. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And everybody's going to come along later on. Please make sure you like, subscribe, share, click the bell so you can stay up to date for when we go live every Thursday at 9:30. Also, make sure you leave a comment below and let us know what you love and what you don't love about what's going on, because I'm here for you. So we're here for you too. So with all that being said, we're just gonna basically take a freestyle tonight once again. I have a couple of topics I kind of wanted to talk about. And then y'all feel free to jump in and take the conversation. Y'all know how it goes. Walter, welcome. But Nicole and Melissa, y'all know how we do things.
Yeah.
And I got a feeling Walter's a pretty quick study. He's a very intelligent man. So I've got a feeling hey, I call what I see, that's all. I got a feeling you're gonna fit in pretty well with the group tonight, okay? With that being said, I do have a big announcement that I'm gonna share with you all in private after the broadcast.
Yeah.
I know
We gotta wait.
What I can say is I have another huge announcement that's coming up for this weekend, and then we're doing again on the 10th. My apologies. So there's a Rolling Stones tribute band. There's a couple. There's one that is internationally traveling, and the name escapes me right now. But there's I've
seen you're doing a Kentucky Derby.
Yes. So there's one band that's a Dallas-based tribute band for the Rolling Stones, and so we're doing a Kentucky Derby day over at Lone Star Speedway on this coming Saturday. It's an all-day event, but I won't get to join them until right around 2:45 in the afternoon, and we're going, the rest of the evening to like 6 or 7, I think it is. So there's that, and then we'll be at the shops at Willow Bend on the 10th from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. So with the same band, so I'm pretty stoked because I really haven't done much with the Rolling Stones. I'm a loosely named fan of theirs. I love their work. I dig, kind of where they started and where they've been, come to, as it were. And the fact that they're still rocking even now,
The fact that they're still moving around, even living.
Yes. Mick is still getting his Jagger on.
Yeah.
Like seriously, Mick is really still getting his Jagger.
Keith Richards is living on borrowed time right now. I'm telling you.
Walter said that. I think they're living legends, and I'm like really really stoked about being able to participate in the tribute band.
Yeah, congratulations.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you. And so then on May 8th, May 18th, I get to sing again. I sat in with the internationally based band at the Granada about 4 months, 4 months ago, and it was a blast. Just meeting them, and then also singing. I sang "Give Me Shelter" with them. Randomly.
So are you gonna meet Mick?
Huh?
Are you gonna meet Mick Jagger?
Who's to say? Who's to say?
That'd be freaking badass.
Anything's possible. But in the
That would be
meantime,
badass.
I'll be performing with the internationally traveling tribute band in Arlington on the 18th. So these are my announcements.
That's cool.
And then, of course, I'm still touring with the Queen, Miss Erykah Badu. We have New York on May 11th coming up, and then some other stuff coming up as well. So, all right, who's got
Are you
next?
gonna be singing their music or what?
Rolling Stones music, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Getting to study some of that, like actually taking the time to study some of their, the music that I've been assigned. I'm like, it's really nice. They got a song called Angie, and I'm like, that's a nice little ballad, So yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
that show on May 11th, isn't that the one that y'all are doing and hers on the lineup?
That's
And
the one.
somebody else? I was like, she's my new favorite artist.
She, someone posted and said she is today's Lauryn Hill.
Yes. No,
Here's what I'm gonna say.
she's the only person I've liked as much since Lauryn Hill, for sure.
That I'm gonna say Lauryn Hill is today's Lauryn Hill. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. Yeah.
But I mean, if there were going to be a comparison of someone who could hold a candle as an artist overall to Lauryn Hill, I would say that her is doing her thing. That's what I know.
Yeah.
She's doing her thing, and I understand that I understand the parallels drawn, as it were. Her is doing her thing. I've heard a couple of songs, and I've just been like, wow, like, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I'm very
that's
jealous
exciting.
of you. Good for you.
Listen. Don't be jealous. Don't celebrate because you celebrate your way on into your own stuff. Exactly. Celebrate your way on into your own stuff. That's how it goes. Absolutely, it's coming. It's coming.
That's awesome.
We'll talk more about that offline because we got some unfinished business. You and I. I'm gonna catch up with you. I get it. Hey, busy is as busy does, and good on you for being busy.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, heck yeah. Miss Nicole Boo, tell us about your late, because you got some big news also.
I'm still sitting here staring at all these contracts. I have to fax them over to an attorney in the morning.
Pause. She said contracts. We're listening.
So all four of my babies and I just got signed to a new talent agency, new to us, not a new company. And so I'm just sitting here like in awe because I decided to go freelance for several months since like maybe last November, December. Mm-hmm. And I just wanted to wait. I believe in relationships for everything. I didn't want to go, knocking on doors and beating down doors. I wanted it to be something that was smooth. And I was really looking for something mainly for myself and my oldest two, because they've been acting for a little while, for a couple years. And so, years ago with the original agency I was with, they were amazing and they signed all of us because this is a commercial state, where I live. There's plenty of work when it comes to just having an everyday look, and they need kids. Mm-hmm. And so,
awesome.
Yeah, so it was really neat to see that this one, needed all of us. And we could work for us like right away, like before they send contracts. I got a phone call late last night and early this morning, like, hey, we have something for you on the 17th. Can you do it? And it pays this much for. I'm like, oh yes, thank you. Okay. So it's definitely a relief. You work a lot better when you have that machine behind you versus me doing it myself. So I'm excited about it. And so the next time I perform is June 1st, and it's with the band from your city, Signed, Sealed, Delivered. The name of the entertainment company escapes me right now, but it's been really neat to build relationships, still building some there, even though I live here. So, and it's cool. I'll be able to perform here because they'll actually be taking care of some company here. So I won't have to drive down there for this show. So that's nice as well. What else is going on? Those are the main two things. I'm mostly home though. Most of my work is still here with the daycare downstairs, and right. Like that's a lot, and hopefully by the end of the year I can hire some help. And
Is that what you call it, the daycare downstairs?
yes, and then my children as well. I just decided to homeschool my children starting this fall, so I'm excited and like very nervous. But I've been doing my research, and it's definitely a good option. And the African American homeschool community has been on the rise,
Okay.
over the past decade for a lot of real reasons. And so the school district that I'm in is considered one of the desirable ones for my metro. But even so, like we're still dealing with problems today where one of my girlfriends, her oldest is about to graduate, but she still deals with like blatant in your face racist bullying.
Really?
This is considered one of the nicer areas in the metro, and it's I made a post yesterday actually about something that my first grader experienced at school, and that could or could not be tied to race, but it's like I'm just so sick of these experiences. I really am. And then on top of that, if Caden has a commercial shoot or something, they don't celebrate it, they don't make an announcement. If you've got a kid in your school that's doing something big, other kids are getting celebrated for doing minuscule stuff. Why is she not getting shouted out for that? And then if she has to take off for working, I couldn't get a work permit for her, and these are unexcused absences. It's time to move around.
Yeah.
Time to move around.
Yeah. Time to find something else to get into, like homeschooling.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, good on you for making the call, and also good on you for finding a way to be able to do it. Because I can only imagine. I gratefully say, I can only imagine. I don't mean the shade. I'm just calling it what it is. I am grateful to be able to say these are not concerns that I. So listen, and my hat's off to y'all. Like seriously, hats off, because I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't
even know how I would in you all's shoes. I don't know how I would function. That's why I thought.
Yeah, you don't have a choice. You just do. And I say this a lot. I wouldn't wish. Some people celebrate and say, "Oh, it's amazing" and everything else, and it can be. But I would not wish being a single parent on anyone. I wouldn't. It's definitely not a job or anything that's designed for one person. But I've been tremendously blessed, and I attribute a lot of it to like the law of attraction, that type of mindset. And when I decided to kind of go down that path, I noticed a huge difference in the way that some things haven't changed a lot, but it changed me, and I was able to really just kind of like turn my pain into profit. I've definitely been able to do that, and and actually and start to be more and more of a position to show other, single mothers basically how to do the same thing, kind of like how to transmute that stuff.
Yeah, alchemy.
And I try to be careful because, working in a lot of church realms, and then I work with a single mother's ministry, so it's a Christian ministry. I try, it skates along the line. Some people are really resistant to certain words and certain terms, which really are biblical as well. But still, it puts me in a position to help a lot, and there's been the up and the down of that. The up is that I'm able to inspire a lot of people. The downside is what you saw, last week with the stalker situation.
Yes, God,
that's crazy. Crazy.
Yeah.
No, but I was gonna say, I'm very much like Nicole. I believe in relationships and kind of letting things happen organically and following whatever path.
Oh yeah.
And so my ex-husband and I did not get along as a couple, but as a father, he's a great father. And so we actually have 50-50 custody. Awesome. And the way I got back into music and like doing all the stuff I'm doing now is that I didn't know what to do when I didn't have my kids, because I was so busy all the time when I had them. So when I don't have them is when I do shows and things like that. And then when I have them, I try to be at home as much as possible. So everybody has a different situation, but mine right now is kind of the best of both worlds. So
how are both you? Both of you, both very mature and smart women.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And
The support system for me is just a group of girlfriends. I call on them for everything. Every time I have a booking, and I've been blessed that every single time I have something booked, I've got somebody to call so I can take the job or the gig. And if I have to leave, fly out, whatever, I can do it. So that's been really major.
Yeah, I wish I wasn't in school. I saw your post about needing a nanny. I was like, I'm there.
Yes.
In the summer, you let me know.
Good to go, huh? See, that's
Yeah.
come on, relationships.
Yes.
Exactly. Wow. Walter, you getting ready to say something? What were you about to? Do you have some announcements?
What?
Do you have some announcements about anything coming up?
Let's talk about this picture.
Yes.
Shall we talk about the picture, Walter?
I'm not doing that no more. I did enough of those
What you
bodybuilder shows. I'm done doing that stuff.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow,
I don't want to do that no more. It's too hard.
it's too hard. How so?
I don't. It's not. It has nothing to do with working out. I love working out. It's just that diet. I can't stand it no more.
Mm.
And I like having a beer once in a while. You can't have no beer for like 4 months solid.
Oh.
That part.
That part.
What is,
Where are
what
you
is some of
from,
the,
Walter?
Where am I from?
You have a northern accent.
I'm from Michigan.
Okay. That's what it was.
I was born and raised in Michigan.
So what's
Actually, to be honest with you, my accent though is actually Canadian.
it sounds like
Oh,
it.
okay.
Because I was 30 miles from the Canadian border. The only thing I don't say is I don't say a at the end. I don't say a at the end of the sentence.
That part.
That's because I control that.
That's funny.
You control it, eh?
People or out
About. Exactly. So what were some of the hardest parts about
that's Canadian.
The discipline of being a bodybuilder, Walter?
4 months of solid eating, perfect. Never having a cheat meal. Just drinking water all the time. No sugar in your diet. No nothing. It's really bland and blah. And you can't. If people are going to do something on the weekend, you're drinking water. So I'm telling you, it's not easy.
It's definitely something you have to be disciplined.
7 times just for the glory of it, and I'm past all the glory now. I don't care. I want to have a beer now.
He said, "Forget the glory. Forget it.
Let me live my
Hey,
life.
I've got everything from 4th place to 1st place. I've got all the titles I need. I'm done with that.
Awesome. That is so awesome.
As he drinks his beer.
As God takes a sip of his beer. Thank you.
I did.
So,
I'm telling you right now, though, when you get on the stage, it's pretty cool.
right?
Especially since you look fine.
I'm just saying. What were some of the highlights for you as a bodybuilder? What have some of the highlights been?
Getting first place.
Say again? We didn't hear you. Getting first place. Thank you very much. Taking the trophy home.
And getting paid for it.
That part, yeah.
Come on, getting paid.
I'm not gonna lie though, I got frustrated one time. I got 4th place. I trained really hard for a whole year and back up on stage, and I thought I looked really good. And I talked to the nutritionist and everybody before I even got on stage, and I asked them what they thought, and they said I should have first at least. And I got on stage and I took 4th place again, and I threw it on the ground. I was so damn mad. They almost
So next time they were like,
me.
let's just go on her.
Yeah, they said, "Oh,
he might throw 4th place across the room this time." So let's just...
hey man, you don't know how emotional that was for a whole year of training that hard though.
Absolutely. I can.
Your emotions just got the best of me.
Yeah. Wow.
I apologized to him afterwards. It was that one moment thing. You know what I mean? I was just really emotional.
I get it. Wow. Well, hats off to you for how long have you been in that lifestyle, if you will, of bodybuilding?
at least 23, 24
24
years.
years.
Wow.
What else don't we
Yeah.
know about you, Walter? So you've been in bodybuilding, but you were a personal trainer also, right?
Yep, I was a personal trainer
Mhm.
for 5
Do you
years.
still do that at all, or?
I actually put people on stage before too. I used to make girls, because most of your clients as a personal trainer are going to be women.
Mhm.
Probably 85 to 90% of them are going to be women.
Of course.
But the only bad thing about that is all they do is complain the whole damn time. They don't want to do it.
So
They want
they what? Say it again. You broke up.
I said they want the results, but they don't want to put forth the effort, and then they just complain and whine.
Well, we just like to express ourselves as women, don't we?
Complain, no
Y'all like
gain.
to eat bread. Y'all like to eat bread too much. You got to get bread out of your life.
That part. Oh.
Yeah. Ouch.
The diet is always the hardest part.
You might
Yeah.
have a point there. You just-
Yeah, like I've cut back on the bread and the pasta because I'm trying to get down 18 pounds. And my sister was like, bread and pasta, honey. And I'm like, pasta?
When
Not the pasta too.
y'all, I am 5'2", and when I had my second son, I went in to deliver at 200 pounds. And I
Holy
went,
cow. 5'2"?
yes, I went on a
You must look like a bowling ball.
no carb diet. I
Yeah.
had no carbs. It was during Christmas and Thanksgiving. I was like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
And I lost all the baby weight in 3 months.
That's what I'm talking about.
With my first
But-
one, I got up to
Dude, that's pretty awesome, actually.
Yeah, but now I'm struggling.
I can't imagine you at 200
You know-
something pounds. Wow.
It was bad.
wow.
It was
wow.
bad.
Yeah, you must have looked like a little bowling
Yes.
ball.
It was bad.
Don't do it, Lala. Kids destroy your body. I mean, you can get it back. You can get it back, but it's hard.
It's a lot of work.
Nicole, can I tell you something?
Mhm.
Can I tell you a not so secret?
What?
God, it doesn't take any convincing for me. No convincing.
Water or something. I don't know.
Huh?
I guess your body just retains water or something during that time because I was almost right up there with you, Melissa.
Your body
really?
goes through a whole freaking metamorphosis to bring another human being. Yeah. Everything. Listen. Yeah, I get it. I mean, I don't know firsthand, but
I'm
get
sure when you're pregnant, you're retaining all kinds of water.
all kinds of stuff in general
Yeah, you got to be.
to support
I mean,
that child.
That's a complete transformation of your whole body.
Now it's a beautiful thing. Let's
Yes.
let's not negate that part. It's a
Yes,
beautiful
it is.
thing.
No, it is.
Some beautiful
It is a
children,
beautiful
Yes.
thing.
but
Yes.
I
It-
wouldn't
it
do
takes-
it anymore.
It takes a serious process to get them here, though, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Very serious,
I was blessed to have like 85% snapback, so.
And I think I have really good genes. My mom, I watched her carry my brother, and her snapback game was, and it was between my brother and my younger sister. Oh goodness, she was maybe like 10 or 11. No, wait, whoa. So I was 16. So she would have had to have been like 10 or 11 when he was born. So 10 years between children. Snapback game strong. And my sisters had 3, and she's smaller than she was before her first pregnancy. So
Yeah, mine were across 10 years.
I mean,
That's
snapback
crazy.
is possible, but it's
But no
It's
pasta.
certain people.
it's not an experiment I intend on undergoing.
Mhm.
Shall we say?
Person's
experience.
genetic makeup is different.
Yeah, absolutely true. Absolutely true. I mean, even within families, so
Yeah.
Auntie Lala will babysit, from time to time, so feel free to call if I'm available. I got you.
That's what I tell people now because, I'm still relatively young. And like I've talked to a couple dudes. They're like, would you have any other kids? I'm like, no. And they're like, really? I'm like, if you were wanting kids, I am not the person for you. I did my dues and I'm good. I am
Tell me now. Yeah,
I
tell,
will-
tell me now. Let's end it seamlessly.
Babysitting is fine, but my kids are almost grown. I am almost done. So
You know,
Okay, bars.
the crazy, the
next
crazy.
year,
Oh, go ahead.
yeah, next year I'll have a freshman in high school and a middle schooler. And that,
Wow.
yeah,
And you walking around looking like a high schooler. That's cute.
that's it. Hey, if I can keep that, I'm gonna keep it as long as possible.
I heard
It used to bother me. It used to bother me. People were like, "Yeah, where's your sister?" I'm like, "I'm his mama, thank you." And now I'm like, "Oh, thank you." I'm gonna keep it as long
Yeah,
as
you
possible.
do look. You do look really young.
Thank you, thank
Baby
you.
face. Baby face. That's
Good
awesome. I have a question for y'all,
Mhm.
What's that?
but I'm gonna preface it by saying that I have had a very interesting week. And I'm gonna be honest with you, tonight was pretty intense for me. Getting to this live. First of all, I was in a tizzy. Like I was like racing, trying to hurry up, trying to post this, trying to get trying to, do a little makeup, whatever. Trying to be ready for our 8:30 in my mind somehow.
Sorry.
Pre-broadcast meeting. 8:30. So when I sat down and I thought about it, first of all, because I was thinking 8:30 and then we're gonna go broadcast on live. And I was like, whoa, no, the live is at 9:30. So we said 30 minutes before that. So it's 9. Okay. So once I got my blood pressure back down, my pulse rate back down, what that did for me was, and I give thanks for this, is that it actually left me time to, to holler at y'all and let you know I was in the link and, to make some posts in the Facebook event and in the chat group and in the inbox group and all. So my stress actually wound up being rewarding. But how do you all, especially, Melissa, you're a teacher
Mm-hmm.
and a mother. How Nicole, you're a mother also. Walter, you're a former bodybuilder, for crying out loud. How do you all, and I'm gonna ask, kind of go one by one and ask you. I'm gonna start with Walter because Walter said the least in this conversation. How do you cope with stress and function in the process of it? How do you all
Go to the gym.
take it out on weight?
That's how I burn it off. Seriously, because I get really frustrated with my job. I have my own business, and I have to deal with a lot of. I shouldn't be mean and say this, but a lot of assholes. So I get a lot of stress during the day, and that going to the gym, lifting weights takes it out.
We live, no edit.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God.
Wow. He said what he said. And so he said it. Okay.
There's no children. There's no children on
There's
this.
no children on this live. I agree.
And my children
Unless y'all feel like you're still children.
Always. I am forever a child.
I can say I feel like a child sometimes.
Wow. Then there's that. So what kind of business are you in? May I ask, Walter?
Huh?
I said what you said you're in business for yourself. So what is it okay to share on here what you do for a living, or you don't have to answer?
I hang wallpaper for a living.
You hang wallpaper.
I hang commercial wall covering.
That's pretty awesome. And you've been doing that.
Yeah, so I do like murals and graphics and stuff like that.
Wow. So you say you take your stresses out in the gym. I can think of a whole lot.
Every
more
single
unhealthy
day.
ways to handle stress. That's awesome.
Well, I mean, I get rid of the stress, and I also get the benefit of the fact that I did exercise.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Nicole Boo, how do you cope?
Well, I'm gonna give my saved answers. So my sanctified answers are
Come on, say it.
pray and meditate.
Yes.
I try to keep like a certain, like, no joke, I like water sounds and like meditation music sounds. So I try my best upstairs and downstairs to have like one of my like oil diffusers and something that's like a small water fountain, and then something playing on the TV and something playing upstairs. That helps a lot, especially since, you know, I've got daycare kids coming in, and so there's going to be kid noises all day, and then I have my kids, you know, to myself at night and all that. So sometimes if I can literally hit the block and go take a jog or something, I will do that. Me getting to the gym and getting away a lot, that's not happening. Another stress reliever is in my work outside of the house. Like when I perform, or if I'm doing like a commercial or something, I'm gonna get super animated and kind of crazy because that's like a way to release. Stuff.
Yeah.
Of course, on the stage, I could be somebody else.
Come through, Sasha.
Yeah. And sometimes at night, I have screamed in the pillow a couple times. Definitely have done
Honey.
that.
Now that's one I hadn't thought about.
I've screamed in the pillow for 2 different reasons. Sometimes by myself, not. And I'm gonna leave it right there. Really great stress relievers.
I picked up what you put down.
You know what? Good massages too. Really great, strong hand massages. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that does the trick. Yes, sir.
I take care of people all the time. So I got to be taken care of too. So
Free freaking Sisley.
mm-hmm.
Melissa, how about you?
You know, this is probably not a great answer, but it's my answer, so it's awesome. I'm a very low stress person. I didn't always used to be this way, and I haven't always been like this, but so my job where I'm at right now is I'm a high school science teacher, but I do it part-time, and then part-time I'm an administrator. So what that means is you have responsibilities of both, which is awesome pay-wise, but time-wise, not so awesome. And so a lot of people have, you know, stepped down or left the position. And at first, it took a big toll my first year. This is my 4th year doing it. The first year it took a big toll because I would stay up till 2-3 o'clock in the morning trying to make sure everything was done, because I'm a perfectionist. So I was trying to make sure everything was exactly right. I had done everything I could, blah, blah, blah. And it took a really big toll on me. And now in my 4th year, I'm like, I did whatever I could today. I put it down. Tomorrow, I will pick up where I left off, and I'm going to keep it moving. And that's kind of my approach to life is I always do my best. I put my best foot forward. I really don't stress a lot about things. I'm always, and that's a bad. So here's a prime example. One day I went to the movies with a friend, and I left my wallet and my keys in the movie theater. And they were like, "Where's your stuff?" I'm like, "Oh yeah." I was like, "I'm going to blah, blah, blah." So I was very like nonchalant about it. And he was like, "How are you not stressed out right now? All of your stuff is there." I'm like, maybe it's a good thing or a bad thing, but things always tend to work out for me.
Say
Like,
it
again. Things always tend to work out for me. So I've really developed this. I don't stress about anything.
Wait. Say it again.
Things always tend to work out
She
for
said
me.
always. She didn't say sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
She
Yeah.
didn't say maybe.
So
She said what?
always.
Wait.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yep. So, you know, like, okay, I'm going to give you all a few examples. I'm not going to take all your time, but I'm going to give you a few
Abraham
examples.
Hicks.
Glass half full.
Abraham Hicks.
Take your time, honey.
So
Take your time and preach.
when I got married very young, you know, around 21, my ex-husband and I bought our first house. We had just bought 2 cars. I had a job that I thought was wonderful. We had our 2 kids, and I got laid off from my job. Not because of anything I did, but I had signed a non-disclosure contract. I was a contract company. They were like, "We can't hire you. I'm sorry. We love you. After the year, you should come back, blah, blah, blah." So it was horrible because we had just bought all these things and we thought we were good. But that's the reason I went back to school. Ended up being better because I got unemployment, got paid for going to school full time, was able to start teaching, right? I couldn't find a teaching job. It took me a while because I really wanted to teach what I had studied. A lot of people end up teaching other things. I ended up with a job that paid me more than I had anticipated. Exactly was what I wanted. I could take my kids with me. So that losing my job and that whole stress I went through ended up setting me up for something
Come on.
better.
Yes.
My divorce, probably one of the worst times in my life, but now it has brought me to a place where I'm the happiest, healthiest, mind, body, spirit, everything that I have been probably since I got married.
That is awesome.
So that has worked out. And then so back in like January or so, I totaled my car. So part of me moving out to the country, I live in the country on 8 acres in the middle of nowhere. And I drive an hour every day to work. And people ask me why. And I said, because I'm setting myself up for financial freedom. My goal is to be debt free so that if I want to quit my job and start a business or go on, like right now, I'm missing out on a tour because I have a job. Like they were like, it starts May 1st. I'm like, I'm not available till June 3rd. So someone else got that gig, right?
That's awesome.
So I'm like, I'm trying to set myself up to where I can do whatever I want to do.
Mhm.
And one of those plans was paying off my car, but it was going to take me like a year or two. So anyway, when I totaled my car, they ended up, I thought they weren't going to pay like whatever I owed on it.
Mhm.
But they ended up covering it and giving me enough to buy a car
Come
that was
on.
worth $10,000. But a coworker of mine was selling it for $5,000 and now got rid of that. And now I'm a step closer to where I wanted to be. So I don't know, like it's always when something bad happens, it's because something good is going to come out
set
of
up for
it.
something better.
And now that, conditioning is a thing. So now that these situations have kind of conditioned me that way,
Yeah.
I don't stress about things anymore. I don't argue with people because it's not worth arguing about most of the time. They're emotional in the moment. They're throwing trophies on the floor because they're
Yeah.
in their feelings, and then they come back and they say, "I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that." I just say, "I know." Like it's just
Put the gun down. Put it down.
we all have those moments, and I used to feed into it. I used to be like, "No, you can't talk to me like that."
Yeah.
And now I'm just like, it's okay. They're having a moment. Let them come down. And then, so I really don't do it.
No, you say moose on.
Yeah, I really don't. I really try to be stress free.
That's awesome. I gotta tell you, Medusa, you're the second person that said some variety of this statement today.
Really?
Which is that anytime something that seems good goes away is because something better is on the way.
It's true. It's true.
So shout out to Dirty Snares. Shout out to Dirty Snares. Because that was a conversation he and I had earlier when we were talking about the announcement I'm gonna share with y'all after the broadcast is over with. And it's an amazing thing that has happened for me. And he has watched me go through being without this thing that has happened for me, and celebrated. He's one of the handful of people that celebrated with me genuinely, as if it was his own success, And I was saying to him and a couple other people that I talked to today, I'm so grateful. Segueing a little bit, I'm so grateful. It's good. It's good with a T at the end of it. Okay? To have friends that are not just friends in name only, but who you can literally share your accomplishments with, and your aha moments with, and your big breakthroughs with. And it's not just like, oh, that is so nice, placatingly, but they literally get excited for you as if it's their own blessing or their own breakthrough. And he was one of those people for me today. He, has been one of those people for me in several ways. And so once again, shout out to Dirty Snares. But he said some variation of that very same thing, Medusa. Whereas he said I've noticed over the course of my life that anytime stuff comes, stuff goes. I've had some of the coolest stuff you know, I've had possession of. And, you know, I've lost some of those things. And so it is. But what I've learned over my life is that when you know, things that I love or things that I think are really cool seem to kind of go away, is because something better is on the way. And when I tell you what I'm celebrating about, ooh, ooh. Okay, ooh, ooh. And again, I say, ooh, ooh. Okay? Ooh, ooh.
And you know, the best part is it is often way further than what you were setting up for yourself.
Yep. Every
It's
single
often
time.
even better than what you were planning.
I do solemnly swear.
Yeah.
Yes! Natasha,
Pretty
this is Mrs. Rogers. Whatever you're doing in China, sis, this is the conversation you should be
I know.
on.
Are you
I was
talking-
excited because I wore my shirt in Chinese. I thought she was gonna be on. I was gonna be like, tell me what it says.
You know what? She'll be back in divine timing, though. I'm so grateful for y'all. You have no idea how grateful I am. On the subject, so we're basically kind of segueing into another conversation about laws of attraction. Oh, before I need to give my answer to my question, right? My answer to my question.
Oh yeah.
I should probably answer my question, huh?
Oh yeah.
My answer to my question is, I'm checking in with the chat in case y'all wonder why I'm looking down. But my answer to the question is simply that, well, it's a couple of things. Nicole mentioned self-care. I do my best to see to it that I do something that is a treat to me, right? As much as my budget will allow.
Yeah.
So if you know, I'm going to get my nail, you know, mani-pedis regularly, that's an act of self-care. That's an act of self-love. Y'all saw the picture with the pretty kitty, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Shout out to the pretty kitty. Y'all know who you are. I go see them periodically. You know, self-maintenance and self-care. And I'm gonna say that's all I'm gonna say about that. So I'll go, you know, from time to time. I have a membership with. I'm just shouting out all the businesses in Dallas that I patronize. How about that? So yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, pay me later. I'll bill you. Okay. So I'll go and visit hands-on therapy in Addison at least once a month. I have a membership with them, and so they happily draft their fee out of my account, and I happily go get the service that's guaranteed under that fee once a month. It's either gonna be a massage or a facial. I've gotten into facials more lately, because you know, this face isn't always gonna be this way, and so I'm one of those people that I don't just want to grow older gracefully. I want to grow older graciously, right? And so and in so doing, I want to preserve what's there for as long as possible. I'm not kicking and screaming against age. I'm proud of the age that I am. I'm not gonna tell you what that is though. But I also am proud of the fact that, you know, similar but not the same to Medusa. I've been mistaken for being younger. Shoot, my sister even still gets carded every now, depending on what kind of hairstyle I'm wearing. Every now and then, you know, hair pull your face back a little. But yeah. So self-care.
Botox.
No, sir. Ponytail. Thank you.
Oh,
The pullback. Okay, the snapback. Right, that version.
Okay, got you.
So yeah, self-care, but then also
The cheap version of Botox.
some would say cheap. Some would say cheap. Some would say safer.
Oh, there you go.
Then there's that.
The natural way of Botox.
Natural. We'll go. Final answer. So that's one. Self-care is one. I'm really working on spiritual self-care a lot lately. And with that being said, there is the story time, sort of, or revelation, if you will, or confession. I have been on a quest of really re-examining everything I thought I knew. Everything I thought I knew about, okay, we see you over there, Mr. Sparks. Everything I thought I knew about spirituality, everything I thought I knew about my spiritual life, and the trajectory thereof. And I have not walked away from anything that I grew up with.
Mhm.
I have not walked away from anything that I grew up with. Okay. Speaking of which, with that being said, I was raised Christian. Okay, I was raised with the Bible.
Mhm.
I still read and reference the Bible. Okay. However, I read it with a different set of glasses. Okay. There is a Bible verse that says, when I was a child, I thought as a child, spoke as a child, acted as a child. But when I became in my case, woman, right, I put away childish things, ... because I can't remember the exact verbiage of the rest of it. So with that being said, I no longer look at the scriptures, if you will, or holy writings, right, from the viewpoint of a child, from the viewpoint of what somebody else told me, from the viewpoint of what Pastor so-and-so necessarily said in the pulpit, and automatically, frankly, because of groupthink and because of crowd dynamics, just agreeing. It's north-south thing, everything that comes over the pulpit. No. I take that. I use it as study, if you will, and then I work on trying to find what in what was said, resonates.
Mhm.
Not just, oh, okay, like I once did.
Yeah, we were all endowed with a mind and a spirit
Come on.
and a brain.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Don't forget the brain, Tin Man. Don't forget the brain. No, that was the Scarecrow, wasn't it?
So
The Scarecrow wanted the brain. The Tin Man wanted the heart. The Lion needed courage.
Mhm.
That's what it was. Okay. Yes. We all were. And, God gave us each a pair of eyes.
Yep.
Right? God, the creator of the universe. Allah, pick a word.
Oh, yes.
Thank you. Yes.
Don't get offended. Just pick a word, okay? Whatever works for you. Okay. We're talking about the same source. Okay. Now that I got that out of the way. So
I love that term, the source, because to me that just sums it up.
Mm-hmm.
The creator, the all in all, the great I am. Pick something. Okay. Right. And I'm gonna quote Erykah Badu one more time. Don't be part of the offendocracy. Seek understanding instead. The word offendocracy is I'm borrowing from Erykah Badu. Everything else I said. I said it. But yeah, so really digging deeper and going inside more instead of looking around me at what someone else is doing for their.
Like we're not enough, as if we're not enough.
As if we're not enough. That whole mouthful. Yeah. So there's that.
Funny, yeah.
I'm listening to a lot of inspirational stuff on you. I don't watch TV anymore. I watch YouTube, and I get to choose my programming. Rather than seeing what's on the menu programmed for me.
Yeah.
I haven't had cable in so long because it doesn't make sense. And, I have a little snarky quip when I hear things about that. I'm like, I'd rather be on TV than watch it anyway. So thank you. But seriously, I mean, you're being fed this really just disgusting diet. Why? And I'm paying you to consume this trash. Why?
I couldn't have said it better.
But most people, I don't think most people watch TV anymore. Maybe I'm wrong, but
a lot. Dude.
Really?
Oh God, yeah.
Because my phone gives me free Netflix and my Spotify gives me free Hulu, and then you have YouTube, and it's like, why would people even watch TV? You can watch it at your own leisure. Amazon, if you're an Amazon Prime person, they have shows on demand, movies on demand. Like, why would I hate commercials. Like,
you gotta remember though, you don't have the majority mindset though. Doing
I guess that's true.
Like that's not the majority mindset.
I guess.
Accessing YouTube.
I hate to do this to you girls, but I gotta go to bed.
Oh, night.
We totally understand, Walter. Thank you so
Come
much for
on.
joining us
It was
tonight.
good to meet you.
It was good to meet y'all. I got to get on. I just really got to go to bed right now.
Totally
But
understand.
I enjoyed the conversation, and maybe I'll get on next week.
Yes. We might have another one. Yes. Excellent. Have a beautiful night, Walter. Thank you again so much for joining us tonight.
All right, good night. Thanks.
Good night.
Bye.
Yay. Up there. Up. Did you catch it? Up.
Oh, the picture or something else?
The picture.
Oh, okay. Yes. Saw that picture.
The picture, though. The picture.
I was
Yeah.
like, we got to talk about this.
Somebody just said big black booty. What?
Did what now?
Somebody in this chat just said big black booty. You on the wrong channel. First of all.
Whoa.
Who is this? Kevin.
Kevin, a troll. Oh, am I? Wait, have we made the big time? We got a troll
I guess
for the second week in a row.
I know, right? You doing something right. Something right.
We got ourselves some trolls. Oh my God.
Okay.
And what Christian? Two. Because I don't know what Christian Gabriel. What?
I don't know.
And both of you are cartoons too. That's cute. That
says a lot right there.
so cute. I need a new word for cute. That's how cute it is.
Yeah.
Insert Wendy Williams face here.
Bless your heart. Is that your whole
Bless your heart.
Give us
Reading.
some more trolling. We need some material. We out of material. Give us some more trolling, okay, honey? Okay, we out of material.
Make sure you share it while you over there.
Subscribe,
Right.
like, share, click the bell.
Right.
But so you were talking about spirituality and you being on a spiritual quest.
Mhm.
So it's funny because church was a big part of my upbringing because I'm a PK. My dad was a pastor. I grew up in the church. Yeah, but and I think it's kind of interesting because now as an adult, I know I hate when people say it. People hate when I say it, but that's the only way I can explain it is I'm not a religious person, but I'm a very spiritual person.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I feel like religion a lot of times turns people off from the spiritual quest. And like you said, if you just quiet your mind, let your soul guide you, you discover a lot about yourself. And it's interesting because I made a new friend who happens to be atheist and happens to be a very strong atheist.
Oh boy.
And it's interesting because it's like, how can you seem to get what I'm saying. I'm like, I respect everyone's beliefs. I can believe what I believe and still respect what you believe and listen to you because it's all about quest for truth. So why would I be off put by you? I'm not the old, and that's what I think the difference is, that a lot of times we just nod and we're like, oh, that's not true because that's not what my pastor said. That's not, it's like, why not listen to someone else? What do you have to lose? I mean, what are you afraid of? So I think there are a lot of, I love that you said it's whatever you choose to call it, because that's how I feel about it. There are so many similarities between people's beliefs that we've been trained to just automatically be like, oh, you're not Christian. But if you really look at it, so many things overlap. And I think that's why I say, like, I don't really, I'm not adhering to a certain belief system per se, because I don't believe in that rigidity of you don't do it this way, you don't do it that way. But I feel like at the core, we're all spiritual creatures. Like, I feel like that's a part of us.
Yep, we are.
We can't deny. So whether you, like you said, whether you call it Allah or Buddha or the source or God or whatever, that it's there. You can't deny it. So I think my level of maturity I proved to myself was, my mom saw something I posted and I had like it's not a sage stick, but it's called Palo Santo. It's like a little smudge stick kind of thing. Okay. She was like, you're leaving God and you blah, 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 blah. Like, it was a big rant. And again, I used to feed into things like that. Yep. And I didn't. I just let it be. I was out at a show. I just let it be. I didn't respond to anything. And the next morning, she was like, I love you regardless of what you do, blah, blah, blah. Because, I'm like, I'm an adult. I'm going to, I respect what you believe. I don't force you to believe anything. So, why would people, just because I'm the same person, like I'm still, and I think, like I said, sometimes we tend to cut people off because they're not on our list. And that's not what love and light is about. It's about accepting what everyone is. Like, I can respect what you do and not belittle it just because I don't think the same way.
Mhm.
Let you be on your own quest, on your own journey to where you're going.
Yeah, I cannot be quote unquote congruent in my thought process or in my viewpoints, if you will, without, like, I don't have to participate in your lifestyle choice in order for us to be friends. But conversely, I don't have to not be friends with you because you don't live your life the same way I do. Kind of is where
So I'm not a vulgar person, but it's the 3 F's.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't feed me or fund me, I don't really care what you do with your life.
In a nutshell, right there. Y'all catch that octave jump?
Yep.
That quick little octave jump I gave you. Okay.
There's
So,
so much fear. Oh,
say again?
there's too much fear that's associated with religion that I think sets it back. A lot of the churches, it seems like there's all this dogma and fear. Like something as simple as, I'll say, back in 2014, I remember taking up this practice with my children in the morning and in the evenings of us just sitting down and meditating together. And I love this. I love doing smudging, by the way. And I would light some incense or have some essential oils. And first of all, this essential oils and things go back. They're all throughout the Bible, mind you. But anyway, yeah. And my father's a bishop and my mother's an evangelist, and no shade whatsoever. But I remember my mother going like, that stuff is demonic and the oils are demonic and other people. But then, fast forward a couple of years, now you guys are using essential oils.
Stop.
And that's just an example of like how I've seen the church operate. Like,
so it went from demonic and it got sanctified.
Right. And when you finally understand it and you finally come into it, then it's okay.
Wasn't Natasha talking about something like that during?
Mm-hmm. Oh, my grandmother went in on Natasha a couple weeks ago.
What happened? I wasn't here.
What happened?
So this was off of camera.
Oh, okay.
I was with my grandmother. I took her shopping and me and Natasha were FaceTiming. And I said, this is my best friend. She's in China. And I let them talk because we're all sisters. And I forgot how.
Is that what I think it is? Sistar? That's a.
Yes, we're all stars. And so my grandmother.
I got to stop using that since I'm not one then.
What is it?
Sistars. That's an OES term, huh?
Mm-hmm.
It just occurred to me.
I've heard it used outside of that,
but the conscious community.
Mm-hmm. It makes sense outside of it too. I see it a lot.
Okay.
So I was introducing them and somehow religion and things like that. No, I think Natasha was celebrating something with me. So she shared some of it with her and about her journey. Oh, my grandmother was just like blown away. Like, how could you be, this young Black woman, but you're working in China? Because China from that, right. That there's no way they could fathom that. She's 83 years old.
Right. That's so awesome though.
Nothing, like, she still can't understand how I don't have a job because I work for myself. She cannot get it.
Don't get me started.
Yes. Yeah. So she's blown away by this young lady, Black in China, and she's living off of music. So Natasha was explaining, I attribute it to a law of attraction. I meditated, I created my vision boards and my books, and I scripted out the life I wanted, and it's just day by day I just keep living my dreams. And she used the word manifest, and then she said some other things. My grandmother,
which is a term that's used in the Bible.
Yes. My grandmother was like, hold up. And she was like, basically, these are the exact words. God bless her heart. But she
bless her little heart.
How, like, if you're really sanctified, you say Jesus a certain way. You don't just say Jesus. You're like, Jesus. So she was like, basically everything we do is through the name of Jesus.
Oh God.
I have that whole sanctified voice thing down, but the emphasis
Yes.
say it. Say it. And so she just kept saying the name Jesus over and over, like as if there was something offensive against the name of Jesus by her saying that this is what she does, and I guess she forgot to use that name. And so she gave her a really, it was a variable life lesson and a lot of schooling, a lot of dogma attached to it.
Yes, yes.
And Natasha is the most graceful young lady I know, because me and my grandmother, we go at it. And we're all from New Jersey, and she's from North Jersey, and they're even worse. I'm from South. But Natasha she was just so, just so lovely with the way she just, she was just not accepted everything, but she allowed her to have that space. And then she responded with so much grace and still stood her position. And I'm like, girl, yeah, you're better than me, Eddie.
Wow. Wow. Well, I can say that dang it. It's some stuff I want to say, but I don't know if it's for the live, Lord.
Just say it.
Right.
I don't know if it's for the live, Lord. I don't know if it's for the live. Oh my God.
And that's the stuff yeah.
Listen, y'all. So I was practically born in a Baptist church in East Texas. Okay. That's, I could have been if I at the right place at the right time. If my mom had been in the building, because I grew up in this church in Lake Providence Baptist Church in Gilman, Texas, and in fact, one of my I was telling a really close friend of mine recently. He's like a spirit twin of mine, and you know how you know people, but you don't know how much you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Because we lie by omission, not on purpose, all the time. I only remember what I remember while I remember it. I only recall what I recall when it shows up as relevant in said current conversation. And so I was telling him these things. I said, what and I was raised by the old folks as well as my parents. Okay. Press 1 in the comments if you know about being raised by the old folks. Okay. Yeah. So I had a nickname among the old folks. And my nickname was Good Little Christian Girl. Good Little Christian Girl. I used to true story. I used to preach to my grandmother and grandfather and their friends using their Bible, which I, strategically placed on their wood burning stove, which was not burning wood at the time. Thank you. As my pulpit, and I would tell them what thus saith the Lord at 3 and 4 years old, 4 and 5 years old.
My babies do that.
And I got all the amens and all the mm-hms and all the wells, you know what I'm saying? So that whole thing. I've not been an active member of a church in probably about 4 years. I have not. I have nothing against any church that I've been a part of. Nothing. In fact, I still hold my previous pastors, all of them, in high regard. All of them. Okay. There are just some things I've had to find out by myself. There's that piece. But also, to be honest, I have come to a place where I'm, specifically my experience has mainly been, with Black churches, if you will. Got to use quotes there, because my skin ain't black. I don't see anybody on here whose skin is black. My skin is brown, right? Anyway, but I get it, Black churches. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like the church at large, but specifically the Black church, is kind of having an identity crisis, kind of, sort of. And there's a lot of things that seem to be running rampant that that my upbringing, I'll say it this way, because there's been a lot to go on over some decades, apparently, right? If you got second generation pastors in New York, violating said associate pastor's daughter in and around the church.
Can I tell you? I'll wait.
Help yourself, because that's enough to send me into an emotional place enough. So
you opened up the door, so I'll share this.
Yes.
I think the first time I finally publicly shared this on a stage was actually a couple of months ago, and I'm 35, and it took me this long to publicly speak about this.
Wow.
My first sexual encounter, I was being molested and raped by a preacher at my church that my father was pastoring. He was not responsible. He did not know. There's a lot of dynamics around that. And I don't say it to shame the church at all. But I was from 14 to 16. This is what was happening. But there's so much dysfunction in the church that would allow that type of stuff to take place. And although my parents were not responsible, they didn't do it. I think that I was vulnerable enough for this to happen because of the dysfunction in a lot of churches. And I think in the typical Black church. And I feel like there's so much work. We do so much, or I don't say we because I'm not a part of that, but they do so much work trying to be so spiritually minded that they're no freaking earthly good.
Earthly good. Wow.
And so much time running up to the church and caring for the church and being there for the church when the church is supposed to be us. And our first mandate is to our home and our family. I made a promise to myself that when I became a parent, I would not drag my children to the church all the time, because for me, it felt like abuse.
Wow.
I don't want my children to feel like their birthdays don't matter. This and that doesn't matter because the church comes first. The church does not come first. It will never come to my home. My babies will.
Wow.
It's interesting you say that. So, when I was growing up, I hated my father. I hated him. Not necessarily because he wasn't a good man, but because he was never there. And it was because he was either working, because he still worked. He was either working or at a conference or preaching or getting ready for church or doing something for church.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like I had a stepdad. Like I would only see him on the weekend, and then it was only like for an hour after church or something like that. Mm-hmm. My mom always did a lot for us, so she was amazing. And so I think that really, made me a lot of who I am, just confident and things like that, because she instilled that in me. Mm-hmm. But my middle brother had a really hard time with it, and I think that's why he kind of walked away just from faith altogether, was because my dad never went to a game, never went to a school function, never went to anything, because like you said, the church always came first. So it really wasn't until I got older and had my own kids, and then things happened that my dad ended up helping a lot with my kids and things like that, that I started to form a relationship with my dad. And I'm grateful for him. But the same reason that I love him and admire him is the same reason that I hated him then, because he devoted his life to people that had really nothing to do with him, kind of thing. Like but that's the same reason I admire him, is because he devoted his life to service. And I saw and I see all these people come back and say, your dad did this for us and he helped us in a hard time and this and that. So it's difficult because the same reason, like I said, the same reason that I admire him is the same reason that I guess I don't want to say hated him, but resented him at the time. Now, I mean, he's an awesome grandpa and I tell people like I'd much rather him be the amazing grandpa than the great dad because my kids will live with that forever, you know. But yeah, it's difficult because you see the work they're doing, but at the same time, it does take a big toll, you know, at home.
It does. It does. And
Yeah.
you see it all the time. It's so cliche, the story of the pastor's family that, you know, disintegrates in front of the whole church's eyes while they're, you know, supposed to be this model and, you know, working in ministry and helping keep all these other families together and save all these other families, but theirs isn't.
So this is, I don't know if it's okay to segue or not, but
Yeah, absolutely.
so you know, this is something I've struggled with myself now as I've started to kind of explore things that I've always wanted to do is like, you know, a lot of musicians, a lot of artists, a lot of people that work in entertainment, you do have jobs that take you away sometimes for weeks at a time. Your family's at home. Not everybody can afford to bring them on tour with you or fly them out or whatever, you know. And so I know a lot of people that are like, I'm never going to have kids because I would be a horrible husband. I would be a horrible father, mother, whatever. And I'm like, not necessarily that you would be horrible. You would definitely be an absent parent or spouse. That doesn't make you horrible, but that line is difficult in a lot of positions, you know?
I wouldn't even say absent, though. I wouldn't even say absent because you can make that time quality and amazing here and there. And if your children are seeing you create this amazing life for yourself and them, and you're still making that relationship with them a priority, I think you're not absent. You're very present. And you know what's crazy? You can be more of a present parent on tour than some of these, you know, ain't shit parents are that are every day that don't want to be bothered.
Present physically, but yeah,
I guess that's true.
You know, working.
I have often been found guilty of, and I'll say guilty of saying pretty darn near what you mentioned, Medusa. Which I touring vocalist, yeah. I'm a vocal coach, and the majority of my clients are school-age children, and these people get, and I have to know that they all know it. They get at least, at a minimum, 110% from me, at a minimum, right? Times however many hours I'm working, you know? And I often wonder if I had children of my own, how much would I have left to give them at the end of the day? You know, because I give beyond they know. I go harder for them oftentimes than they realize that it's worth to go for themselves, you know. And there's some babies I'm like, listen, don't allow me to want this more than you. Don't. You're way too talented for that. Come on now. Come on. What we got to do? You know, tell me what I need to say to you, what you need from me, you know, because no, don't allow me to want your success for you more than you do. Come on. You know? And again, you know, there are some days where I'm teaching 8 people in a day. If I got private students too, it could be 9 or 10. You know, times 110 minimum %. You know, so by the time I get home to some children of my own at 9 and 10 o'clock, if they're still even freaking awake, you know, waiting up for me past their bedtime, you know, what would I have left to give them? I know I would do my best to muster up something, but would it be a fair amount? You know?
You know what's crazy? This happens with each child. It's like when you become pregnant, or let's say you decide to adopt a child or whatever, and of course it's a big if, and it's not for everybody too. It's not. But if the universe allows you to bring a child into this world or raise a child in any kind of way you do it, it's like all of a sudden it expands you as a human being and it shifts your entire world around to accommodate. Like my first husband and I, when we were getting prepared for Michaela, my oldest, all of a sudden, like all these doors just started opening up for us to move 2 states over, this amazing job out of nowhere for him that worked in his field. And then, you know, things opened up for me to be able to, it was just like all this stuff came into place just to support the baby.
Wow.
And
Wow.
you do, and it's like you have no idea, like what am I gonna have left to give to this human being? And you expand as a person, and it just everything just works out the way it's supposed to for that life.
That is a really awesome way to put that. You expand.
Mm-hmm.
That brought a whole tear to my eye. A whole tear.
And to comment on what Melissa was saying about, you know, what kind of a quality of a parent could you be if you decided to take a tour and stuff. I remember calling on the people that I thought were supposed to be there for me the most, which is, you know, the closest friends and families when I had big opportunities. And not all of them, but a good portion of them would say things like, well, you can't do that. You're a mother. What about your children? What about and would try to guilt me as if I'm a bad mother because I'm taking this amazing opportunity that's going to do something great for me and them, and would not support me so that I could. But then I noticed that when I stopped operating as if I needed them, and I would just say, you know, what Melissa said, that everything always works out, all of a sudden other people just, every single time somebody else or something else would just work out and show up to support whatever the dream or the call is, every single time.
Wow.
I guess that's true. Like, I couldn't do what I'm doing now if my kids were younger. Like, my kids are older and sometimes they'll come out, you know, and things like that. And so I think you're right. It goes back to everything always works out the way it should.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
Baby Medusa, what'd you say earlier? Things just somehow.
something almost always works out. I don't remember exactly what
Things just somehow always work out for you.
somehow things always work out. Yeah.
Yeah, always.
And guess what? That's one of my newer mantras that I say on a regular basis. I listen. I'm always on time. Matter of fact, I have plenty of time to take care of what I got to take care of and get to my destination early.
That's
okay.
Awesome. I can't say that.
The power of life and death is in the tongue. Okay.
Oh yes.
Okay. I'm with you.
And you know, things always somehow wind up going my way, working out in my favor.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's how you put it. It always winds up working out in my favor. And listen, wait till I tell y'all what I got to tell y'all when we get off this.
Oh yeah, something
You're
else.
telling me.
Oh, I'm ready. Something else that helps me to stay centered, and gives me, I guess, a calm. I tattooed it on my wrist, and you guys, I gotta find the video and show it to you. It's gonna have to be a private video though, because I scream like a baby for this tiny little tattoo, y'all.
Love, peace, and music.
Yeah, and you know, peace is an amazing, not just a word, but like a lifestyle. It means nothing missing, nothing broken, and that's why I have it in the center. And I look at that and it reminds me like all the time, because you know the fear can be real about, I mean, anything and everything, and especially when I'm looking at a new opportunity. Like, is it Richard Branson? I'm pretty sure it's him. He's got this amazing quote about when you're faced with an opportunity that you think is too big for you, or how am I going to do it? You just immediately say yes. You say yes because it's like stuff. I've been in front of things on a regular basis where I'm like, okay, I don't know how the heck I'm going to make this work. Like, I don't know how I'm going to get there, or just whatever. And I'm like, wait a minute, nothing missing, nothing broken. It came to me. Say yes and just watch how, you know, church folks say, watch how God moves. I say, watch your word. Yes. It literally conspires with you to make it happen if it's for you.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's true.
Right there. On that note, does anyone have any closing statements they'd like to make? Cricket.
I'm thinking of how to word it.
Okay, right on with the right on. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think the overall concept of our conversation was you got to stare fear in the face and know that every battle leads to a victory.
That right there.
Yeah.
I think that wraps it up in a nice little bow. Well, once again, thanks. Special shout out to Walter Sparks for hanging out with us tonight. Special shout out to QP. Yeah.
Thank you for the picture, Walter.
Yes, thank you for the picture. We appreciate the picture. Yes, indeed. Special shout out to QP for dropping in and at least saying hello and remaining faithful. Special shout out to Tanisha and Dwayne Washington, who are celebrating their birthday. Also, their daughter Ayana had praise and worship leading to do tonight. And I'm proud to say that Ayana has taken some voice lessons from me and will be picking back up really soon. I'm super excited about that.
Awesome.
And proud of her and her growth and whatnot. So yeah. And special shout out also to everyone that usually is on the panel that couldn't make it tonight because people got lives to live. I just appreciate the fact that everybody is still coming together and still at least communicating, and we're still keeping this thing going and remaining faithful. So I'm so grateful. Thank you to everybody that's tuned in tonight. Thank you, Nicole Boo, check 1, check 2. Thank you, Melissa Medusa Torres, for hanging with us tonight again as well, even in your multitasking. Once again, thank you to everybody that's viewed live and commented, even the trolls. Matter of fact, come back, trolls, and bring friends, whatever.
We have a good comment that I want to read. Did you see the comment from the Talkbox Queen?
I did not.
I just
Oh my God, did she join that? Oh.
You want to read it?
You know what? You read it. You do the honors. It's your best friend. Go best friend.
I know. No. I think it'll be a great thing to travel the world with my children. And I also believe that focusing on my desired outcome, positivity, of course, will result in what I desire it to be.
All the way from China.
Yes.
Thank you so much for chiming in, Talkbox Queen. I'm going to get this tongue tiedness taken care of. Yeah. But thank you for chiming in. Thank you for viewing and for making that comment. We miss having you on the live, but we get it. China is a different time zone. Oh my God. So thank you for taking a moment to drop in and sprinkle us with some positive energy on tonight here.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, thank you to everybody that's tuned in live. Thank you to everybody that's going to come and watch the video in the aftermath. I'd like to say once again, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell so that you can be a part of the next conversation. Hey, little one.
Hi.
How are you? She's so cute.
Mm-hmm.
We love the cheering.
Mm-hmm.
All right, on that note, I'm going to bid a good night to the live broadcast and ask you two ladies to hold on so I can pair y'all with. Well, I'm itching to tell you. So yeah, on that note, we'll see you all next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Trolls and regular people, good people.
Yes, good people.
And trolls bring friends, good people bring more friends, okay? So we have a nice, entertaining conversation together. 9:30 next Thursday. I'm gonna go ahead and set up the schedule later on tonight so y'all know to be looking forward to it. On that note, see you. Bye.
Bye.